Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we have a new update, 15.6, which is introducing the new battle pass. I don't blame you if you find this one confusing. We're going to spend a lot of time going over it. It is a bit of a side grade, not exactly sure what they're going with it, but there are some nice features that we will talk about in a second. Unique commander changes as well, which is really nice, alongside free respecs for the first 2 weeks of the update. Very excited for that. We're getting a new-ish map. Riposte has been in ranked battles, I believe. Maybe some clan battles, that sort of thing. But it's coming to randoms now, too. So we will see that. Early access for Italian subs is gone, so you can actually research them now. Not that anybody cares. I'm sorry. Personal bias is coming into play here. Ranked battles, brawls, that sort of thing, too. Armory is the big thing this update is. There is a new super battleship, as well as a new Wishing Wharf event and some direct purchase options as well, which we really like to see. There's a Star Trek event here too, as well as a few other small changes. Not a massive update, but let's dig into 15.6 here with more details. And of course, we have to start with this new battle pass. My goodness, does it look confusing? I've spent a little while trying to understand it. Now, I will try to explain it as simply as possible. So, there are 3 sectors. We all get access to this first sector at the start of the update. Notice the second sector you'll be able to access in 7 days, so after the first week. And then after the first 2 weeks are gone, so the final 2 weeks of the update, you will get access to this third sector. You can mouse over and see all of the rewards. A lot of small stuff here. Crucially, there are some premium ships, for example. So in this one, we will get the Tier 6 Spanish cruiser here. You're going to see some special camo. So this is a camo for that special cruiser. Maybe some destruction effects or special camo for the Tech Tree Tier 8 Spanish cruiser. Destruction effects here, that sort of thing. So you can mouse over, decide where you want to go. What I really like is that you can choose the rewards you want to. That is a really nice feature here. However, it is quite confusing. So you will need to buy into the premium side of this battle pass. As we know, this will cost you 2,000 doubloons for the first sector. The second sector is going to be another 750 doubloons. And the third sector is going to be another 750 doubloons. Crucially, you will not need to buy these in order. So if none of the premium rewards of this first sector interest you and you're only interested in a premium reward from, say, the third sector, you can just spend the 750 on that one and ignore the 2,000 for the first one and the 750. So while this is a more expensive battle pass overall, you don't have to buy your way through the entire thing just to get the one reward you want to. Now, this most expensive sector does include that premium ship, as already mentioned. So if that's all you were interested in from previous battle passes, this is sort of a reduction in the cost to get that premium ship if we're looking at it that way. Now, there are also some very weird ways in which this map is sectored off. I almost wish that they had made it into like a Slay the Spire style map generation where you could just choose your own path and then the paths would sometimes connect with each other so you could cross over to one another. I think that would be a little more like, you know, if this islands are breaking things up, you start here. Oh, I go around the north, I go through the middle, I go through the south. Oh, now we meet up in the middle and then we do that again. Maybe a better way to do that where it's a little simpler. And if you're unaware of what Slay the Spire is and what I'm talking about with map generation, here's what it looks like, okay? You see how you start from one point, you kind of branch out to one side. Oh, they actually join up here, that sort of thing. And then you can decide where you want to go next and they join up again. Right, that sort of thing is what I'm thinking about. See, we chose to go left here, and the left and right paths don't actually converge until like right here. You know, something like that might be a little simpler for players to understand. Now, it might feel like you're getting locked out of certain rewards if that was the case. Perhaps that would also lead the final reward to be at the very end instead of what we have with this pass, where it seems like that premium ship is fairly early on, which I like a lot. So not necessarily saying this would be better objectively overall, but maybe a little simpler to understand, I suppose. I don't have time to do a run. I don't have time. We need to talk about some of these special bonuses here. So anytime you see the satellite dish, it is pointing towards a sector where it will reduce the cost. You see how this sector costs 30 points to get through. If you get this one first, it's going to reduce the cost of that one. So you can see that pop up. Notably, enemy ships require you to claim a certain number of sectors before you can even get that one. So essentially look at this as kind of a block, right? You can't get through here until you've claimed a certain number of the other sectors around this way. Aircraft carriers here are going to increase the rewards of a linked sector. So you see how this sector here has highlighted the airdrop looking one. Notably, you can only do this before you collect this one. So if you want those extra bonuses, I believe it will be increasing the number of battle pass tokens, basically just the way that you are unlocking these sectors. If you want that extra, you have to get this one first. If you go here and then afterwards get the aircraft carrier, you will not get the extra bonus. So you have to do that one in order. I suppose same with these satellites. Always go for the blue icons first, I guess would be a good way to look at it. The artillery icon here is going to just be at the target. So getting this one will unlock this sector here. Again, allowing you to pass by the south here. Now, the last icon we're going to talk about is this recursive repeating symbol. This is what's going to allow us to repeat a certain number of rewards. So the first time it looks like we're going to get a decal and a container. And then if you want to again, then you get a different reward. Maybe that's for this sector, because that's... No, the repeat reward is the same by the looks of it. So you're not getting the base. See, I'm still confused here. Apologies. Apologies if I do get some things wrong about this battle pass. It's very, very confusing. So your initial time clicking on this square, you'll get this reward. And then the subsequent times, if you want to, you'll get a very basic reward. Otherwise, these gray looking ships are the reward, I suppose, for the satellite dishes. So you can see how that pings out there. Nice to see that they actually do showcase this once you click on it. You got to do a lot of clicking around, though, to actually see how things are linked together. It's a bit confusing, Wargaming, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. I do like that you choose the path that you want to go to. I like that the first sector, the first area, seems to be full of the most substantial rewards. I think the most interesting part of battle passes is when they include these mid-tier premiums. So to have that in the first sector, so you don't gotta wait to start unlocking it, as well as it being now a slightly reduced cost, is pretty cool. Looking a little more in detail here, we can see that the first area is actually the most full of rewards too. So it's not a situation of, oh, I can only play the first week of the update. I won't be getting access to the later areas, which all have the best rewards. No, it's the good rewards seemingly are in this first area, again, including that premium ship, which I like to see. That is actually very, very nice. Pleasant surprise there. I would have assumed the opposite. Apologies for making that assumption, Wargaming. Now, you will be getting daily and weekly missions. We've seen this before. Just getting base XP will get you points to unlock new sectors here. There will be a total of 1,760 points available from these missions, and you'll only need 1,300 to complete the whole battle pass. Nice to see that you don't need to complete every single mission every single day to unlock every single sector. Now, the extra tokens on top are used to unlock the extra reward. So that's going to be that repeating sector. Next, we have the commander system changes for unique commanders here. The big highlights are going to be achievements are no longer required. My poor achievements, man. You remember when you used to get flags for actually getting achievements in game? Now they no longer actually impact the special commanders, which allows them to get their special talents going in multiple game modes. So if we look at, say, Yamamoto, who also got a change, by the way, so we're seeing some differences here where his Kraken achievement is no longer just on a Kraken. You see how it gives you the bonus on getting the 5th kill, but you get a smaller bonus on 2 ships, which is really nice, and an even extra bonus on 7 ships. So some of the commanders with some very, very difficult talents to activate have been made a little easier, allowing you to get a smaller buff earlier on, while giving you the most of that full buff later on if you do manage to get it. Crucially though, it does not say Kraken. Another one we should look at, say, is Halsey, where this is a Confederate achievement. However, It's now just describing what a Confederate would be, but it no longer requires you to actually get that award to activate the talent. So that allows it to activate in multiple game modes, as well as on test ships by the looks of things too. That is notably something test ships weren't eligible to get, which is why with Conte Verde, if I was, say, running Sansonetti in the testing, then I was not able to actually get the 15% reload bonus on that ship, even though I think I was probably getting a Confederate in some of those games. So worth noting that some of these test ships you see might even be a little bit more powerful yet. Although Wargaming has ways of restricting what commander you can use on test ships, and so some feedback, Wargaming, maybe do that a little more often. Don't let some of these test ships run these special commanders, might be a suggestion of mine now that you have done this. This also means we have separate activation conditions depending on the game mode that you're playing. So Battle Group 1, random, co-op, ranked battles, brawls, asymmetric. Battle Group 2 includes operations, so they might be able to spice up operations even further by giving you more extreme buffs that are easier to activate without having to balance that around random battles. I think that's really cool. And Battle Group 3 includes battle types where commander talents are disabled, like clan battles and training battles, which is good. I don't think we need special commander talents in clan battles, Kings of the Sea, that sort of thing. Notice how in this image here, we have Battle Group 1, Battle Group 2, and Battle Group 3, clearly showing you that you can see which talents activate for which sector or which game mode that you're doing, as well as being able to see the others. Unfortunately, we don't see that here. Clicking around doesn't give me that option, unfortunately. Some feedback, Wargaming, we could actually use a tab like that. More information is better. I already wish that you gave us more information here. Notably, World of Warships Legends, which is the console game, as well as I can play it on my phone, gives me more information here. It'll tell me Sigma parameters, it'll tell me pen angle parameters, and it'll tell me how my commander build is changing those parameters too. PC players don't get to see that. More information on the UI would be very, very nice. Maybe this is overly critical, but instead of giving us an overwhelmingly complicated battle pass that we didn't really need, we could actually improve some more basic Okay, maybe that's not fair, but I would love to see some UI improvements, especially when we're already changing things and then it doesn't show up in game, but it shows up in your screenshot. That feels a little weird. Not sure what happened there, but perhaps that will come with a future update. I would like to see that. Now, most of the commanders are still going to have the same skills as before, although Halsey got a completely changed one here. So no longer on a double strike are you getting 10% to your concealment. Now you're getting a speed buff based on how much torpedo damage you do. 30k torp damage, 2%, and then 60k torp damage, a further 5%. So some faster DDs is mostly what this is going to be for. And looking through the other talents here, it doesn't seem like they are really changing a whole lot of them outside of the ones that are requiring you to get an achievement. Those ones will actually be changing now. I suppose here with Cunningham, you're getting an activation here on getting floods 2 times and 4 times. So they're breaking out some of the ones that are a little bit harder to get, I suppose, giving you some ship speed here, ship and squadron speed as well, if you're using it on carriers. We are also seeing that change here with dev strikes being described, although I thought dev strikes were a 10-second window. Here it says it's a 5-second window. So perhaps I was wrong about that, but Maybe they tightened up the window for this, perhaps. We shall see. Otherwise, looking rather similar, I would say. And I think that's about it for the commanders. Just the 100% discount. So free respecs for the first 2 weeks of update 15.6. Now, notably, that is not available currently to me, I believe. Sometimes there's some weirdness there around NA getting the patch on Wednesday, everywhere else getting the patch on Thursday. Some of these things activate on the Wednesday for NA, and others activate on the Thursday when everybody gets access to the update. So I would assume that's gonna happen. This video is going out Thursday, so that should already be applied to everyone. We're getting a new map for random battles, but it's a map that they've already had, so it's not really that new. Notably, there's some just giant wide open areas on the flanks here with some very concentrated islands. This is going to be rather difficult to play into high tier, I would say. Fortunately, it is only available to up to tier 9 here. So you're not going to have to play it in tier 10 and super ships. I think it'd be pretty miserable in those tiers. Even tier 9 is going to be pretty large, I would say, for such a small map. Submarines leaving early access. I don't think anybody really cares, so I'm going to skip over that. Ranked battles. There you go. There are some different 7v7, 6v6s. We're not seeing these at tier 10 until Gold League, and notably no subs or aircraft carriers allowed. Maybe people aren't interested. Anyways, there is one interesting brawl for this update where they're basically removing ramming, increasing speed and maneuverability, and then main guns and torpedo tubes have reduced turn time. So they really want you to brawl and don't want you to ram. That sounds like it could be pretty fun. And it is a tier 9 4v4. So the big portion of this update, though, is spending your money. Salvage for victory is not money, but in-game credits for Affondatore. I apologize for the pronunciation here, but new super Italian battleship with 406 millimeter sap shells. Oh my goodness. This has 1.6 sigma I was seeing, and same dispersion as the updated Colombo lines. So better at close range, worse at long range. I expect this to be an absolute monster. We shall see, of course. I have not played it yet, so I'm just speculating here. I also want to point out that it looks decent from the armor perspective, 50, 70. Is this an exposed citadel? Oh, you poor naive viewer. Of course not. Of course. Okay, I'm not going to rant too hard, but what a balance decision. What a balancing decision that is. Everybody's just going to sail broadside in this thing, slap you for 1 billion damage no matter your angle with the sap, and when you catch it broadside, you won't be able to citadel it. Maybe it'll be more balanced than I think, but that is looking terrifying. And the way you'll get that is by spending credits, commander XP, coal, economic bonuses, economic type, and then you'll get early access to it for 3 updates. So just wait. I would recommend just waiting. It is such a massive sink of your resources for 3 updates of early access for this ship. And again, it's also just a massive burn on your credits because super ships take forever, or they take so many credits to actually run. Now, ship rotation, also sending out some ships, sending some new ones in, as well as ones we haven't seen in a long time. Aguirre? Apologies for the pronunciation, but a brawling style cruiser. I'll be making a video on this one soon, don't you worry, but nice to see a new ship coming back, as well as some old ones, which maybe not the most exciting group, but things like Flounder are pretty fun. I know Maltese Knight will be very happy to see Tiger 59. His favorite ship, surely. Summer Festival, though, this is the main portion of this update. Conte Verde, you've already seen the video, I'm sure, at this point, but better than Venezia main guns, Laria, full battleship armor there. I know they say that weak armor is one of the downsides, but I would say this has, at least in the mid-tier for armor layouts for enemy or for battleships at tier 10, if not in the upper end of battleship armor, because it is such a small ship to actually hit. As well as ships like Nanning, Rhode Island, Suzia, Cambridge. There's a lot of rare ships returning. I am so excited to see rare ships returning this update, as they've been kind of the problem with the game and a lot of the updates, where it's been a lot of FOMO, it's been a lot of Admiral bundles for $200 US or gambling on them, and then who knows when you can get these ships again. So really excited to see them come back. And come back in non-Admiral bundles, direct purchase doubloons? Wait a second, this isn't the wargaming I'm used to. So 21,800 doubloons for the tier 9s here, 13,300 for a tier 8, 9,300 for the tier 7 here. You can see that all up front here. I absolutely love Susie. I've made a video on that one the other day, and we will see in the second half of the update. Notably, these bundles will be removed after the first half of this update. So if you want these ones, then you'll have to get them at least before the midpoint of the update. In the second half of the update, you will see things like Rhode Island direct purchase doubloons. What? I believe Rhode Island B was a little cheaper than this, but if you missed that one, and maybe who knows if they bring that back for next Black Friday or not, I actually don't know. I would hope they would, but here's a way to get yourself Rhode Island, probably one of the best battleships in the game as far as playing that cruiser support role. Certainly better, I would say better than Conte Verde, because you get the radar here, you get closer to battleship caliber guns, still having good dispersion. The HE hits really hard, the AP has improved pen angles. This ship is ridiculously good. Cambridge coming back. I had a good couple of games recently, so expect a video on that one. Tsurugi, 6-gun troll battleship. We'll see if I end up playing that one. Although I had a pretty good time at Incomp the other day. Grau coming back. Yes. So if you missed out on this ship, you get a heal now finally because of mid-tiers, and this one has the infinitely reusable reload boosting combat instructions. Very, very fun. You stay dark for like a minute, and then you have a 66% reload buff for like a long time, 30 seconds. Yeah, it's 30 seconds. 66% reduction to your reload for 30 seconds. Goes absolutely crazy. The ship is very fun. So quite expensive, yes, and no discounts here or anything like that. I know this is a very low bar to clear, but the way Wargaming has been treating us recently, I'm very happy to see non-Admiral bundle, non-gambling only for these ships. I'm happy to see that we also see it as doubloons, not just for real money only. Because again, there are ways of earning doubloons in the game that don't involve just spending real money, which is really cool. With this summer festival, there are also some other ways that they are really trying to milk you, as you can see here from some of these bundles. I don't think it's really worth spending on these, to be honest with you. Sure, you're getting some extra sunrise tokens, which allow you to go through this style of what seems like a battle pass in its own right. There's like a Santa Mega gift contain. I don't think this is really worth going for, but it's up to you if you are interested in that. There's a tier 9 premium container at the very end with kind of these ships as options. A lot of these are in the coal section, so if you want some of them, you could just save your coal, of course, too. And the Wishing Wharf. I saved this for last because I don't like talking about Wishing Wharfs. They're so slimy. They just feel very slime. It's icky to me, man. Look at this. Guaranteed drop from the special rewards group in 50 while showing off Rhode Island and Conte Verde. So my first thought was, oh, okay, so 50 tries is what it's going to take to actually get a guaranteed drop in the ship reward. Okay, how many tries is it going to how many doubloons is it going to take to give me that 50 tries? That's my first thought. But oh, you poor naive viewer. You poor naive viewer. Special rewards give you a 50 guaranteed drop in 50. So that is just some random camos that nobody really cares about. If you want the ship, that's a guaranteed drop in 100. It's here. They tell you about it. But it's kind of hidden. It's kind of sneaky. It's kind of slimy. I don't like it. Also worth noting here is that if an item that you already possess drops, you will receive compensation. Then this item will not drop with further tries. So let's say you want Conte Verde out of this, and you're not, in my opinion, smart and just buy it outright. Okay, maybe insulting my viewers' intelligence is not the best way to go about making a video, but still, seriously, just buy it outright. Let's say you owned all of these other ships but Conte Verde. It's possible that you have to re-drop Rhode Island, Suzia, like all of these ships before you can guarantee a Conte Verde drop. Even if you owned everything else but Conte Verde in this bundle. Just buy it outright if you're interested in Conte Verde. Please, please, I am begging you. I know there are gonna be people on social media that post that they got it instantly. I understand, but you're not gonna get that lucky. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. You're not that lucky. Okay, just buy it outright if you're interested in it. And that is a very, very expensive price. I am aware. I know it hurts. I do not like these Admiral bundles. It's doubloons, not direct like money only, which I like, but it's very, very, very expensive. I wish that they would do more just direct purchase without the Admiral bundles like we see with Rhode Island, Suzia, Grau, all those ships coming back. But this if you want Conte Verde, this is the best way to do it. At least there is a direct purchase option for it. I don't have to completely rip into Wargaming for having it be gambling only. I wish it were better, but at least there's a direct purchase option. Notice here that buff has indeed gone through. 32 millimeters of armor on the bow and the stern section. So it is full Laria armor outside of this portion of the deck armor, but that is a very minor difference. And so has some of the best battleship armor at tier 10, I would say. Even if Wargaming doesn't think so, saying weak armor. Although depending on your perspective, that's the Citadel of Conte Verde. That is a rarity considering what their new designs look like. a certain perspective, it does have weak armor. It has an actual hittable citadel. Okay, moving on. And the last thing I'll say on this Summer Festival Wishing Wharf thing is the only nice thing I can really say about it is that all the ships available in it, you can buy outside of the Wishing Wharf. You can literally ignore the Wishing Wharf completely, and there is no downside to that, which is the only nice thing I can really say about it. We're also going to get a Fuyutsuki. Again, apologies for pronunciation, but tier 10 Akizuki with a reload booster, as well as an exhaust fuel smoke. That sounds absolutely insane. I'm sure this lacquer camo will be separate, maybe ridiculously expensive. So here's your normal camo that you'll see most of the time, and that reload booster. So you get 3 of them to start with. That is a 50% reload booster for 15 seconds. And yes, it is Akizuki guns here. Maybe not the best detection, but I think that's required because this ship gets to go dark instantly. This isn't a situation where you got to slow down in your smoke or anything like that. You can just, as soon as you get detected, as soon as you get into trouble, assuming there's not a radar or a hydro, and you will go dark instantly. That is crazy power. Do you guys remember Aguirre? This one we looked at recently, somewhat recently, I suppose. I was outgunning pure gunboat DDs with this thing purely off of that exhaust smoke gimmick. Now this one outspots everything too, but this ship does not have good guns, but using this smoke intelligently alongside even terrible gun power puts you in a massive advantage. What's it gonna be like when you get Akizuki guns on a tier 10 then with a reload booster? I don't know, this ship looks insane. That's all I'm saying. Again, haven't played it, just speculating on that. We'll be getting that later this update. Through, by the looks of things, doubloon sequential bundles, so expect it to be very, very expensive. Apparently the Star Trek collaboration is done. Unsure if they'll bring this back, but if you want any of the cosmetic stuff, that is there. Recruiting station anniversary, I totally forgot that was a thing, so there you go. As well as some extra additions, content stuff, but not anything particularly interesting there. And maybe a few bug fixes overall too. So that's gonna do it for update 15.6. A lot of ways to spend your money, not a lot of ways to actually earn ships for free, but that's okay. We can just hold out until update 15.7. If you missed the update announcement there, or at least the dev blog announcement, we are getting a second half of 2026 that's going to look very similar to the second half of 2025. So ways to earn doubloons, ways to earn very rare, expensive ships completely for free just by playing the game over the next few months until the end of the year. It's looking like a very, very nice end to 2026. I wish Wargaming could balance this out a little more so the first half of the year didn't have to be so sad in terms of free-to-play average, $10 to $20 a month players. But at least we are getting that second half of the year that looks extremely promising. So let me know what you think in the comments down below about the new update. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.